Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again today with another video. This is going to be a quick one. I have some stuff to do later, but a lot is happening on Twitter right now, especially concerning the Thunder and specifically Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that I thought, as a guy who a lot of people associate with Shai and especially with the Thunder, I should make a video on this real quick. So it's only going to be a quick one, probably going to be like 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes. But let's talk about Shai. The reason I want to talk about Shai and the Thunder today is because since the Thunder got the 6th pick in the lottery, there's been a lot of really just confusing and dumb statements made about the Thunder that, oh, this screws us, that, oh my God, the rebuild is over, as if like this wasn't a very clear and probably the most likely. I'm pretty sure getting the 6th pick was the literal most likely scenario that we had, and people are freaking out. Chill out. It's going to be okay. If you're a Thunder fan watching this video, or if you've been freaking out that we got the 6th overall pick, you need to calm down. We're going to be okay because we have a ton of assets to either trade up, or if we stay at the 6th spot, there's still great prospects. Specifically, Scotty Barnes is a guy that if you have not watched film of his, go look at it because I guarantee you will be very surprised pleasantly and you will really want him on your team. Ever since we got the 6th pick, I had already watched Scotty Barnes' tape, but the more that I watch it, the more convinced I am that he would be a great fit on this Thunder team. And if he gets taken earlier, then that means one of Jonathan Kuminga, or potentially the guy that kind of looks like he's around that 4 spot, Jalen Suggs, would be available also at our pick. And so whoever we get from that group, if we stay at 6, is going to be a great fit for this team. So calm down if you're freaking out. And if you think the Thunder are screwed as a non-Thunder fan, you clearly have no idea what the rebuild is going to look like. Specifically, a lot of people think that because we got the 6th pick, we need to trade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a 22-year-old borderline all-star who just had an insanely efficient scoring season despite having, no joke, the literal worst spacing in the entire NBA. Why? And they think we need to trade him because he doesn't, quote, fit our timeline. First of all, Shai is the timeline. When you have a guy that is that good at this young of an age, you tailor your team and your decisions around what fits him best. We are going to draft players. We're going to trade those picks for players that best fit around Shai. So if we get a player that ends up not fitting next to Shai, then we'll trade them, or we're not going to go out and get guys that don't fit. He is the timeline. So stop saying he doesn't fit our timeline. And second of all, stop drawing up trade packages for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I get it. He's really good. And I think the fact that so many people are wanting to draw up trade packages for him kind of illustrates just how good he is, despite, every single person on Twitter deciding that he's also overrated. So first of all, make up your mind. Is he overrated or do you want him on your team? And second of all, stop making these trade packages. He's not going anywhere. He is our franchise cornerstone. Sam Presti has said it. Mark Daigneault has said it. The team recognizes it. He recognizes it. Shai knows that this is his franchise, and people are saying stuff like, oh, well, why is Shai going to want to go through a rebuild or whatever? This team has the potential to be really good in 2 to 3 seasons. It's not like we're going forward for an 18-year rebuild just now because we got the 6th overall pick. This was a very likely scenario, and now that it's happened, it just changes the way we have to go about things. We can either trade up because we have over 30 draft picks in the next 7 drafts, including 3 first-round picks in this year's draft, which gives us a lot of capital to trade up if we want to do that, or we take who we want at that 6th pick, and we ultimately later on maybe use that player and some picks to trade for a stud, or we just package the picks as well as some of these other guys that maybe we draft someone at 16 and 18 that could complement Shai, who could stay, or we trade those guys to get a superstar. If you haven't seen my video talking about why we have so many draft picks, please go look at it. It should be the featured video on my channel. I'll probably even link it in the description below, but if I forget, then it's the featured video on my channel. It's called here's why Sam Presti wants every draft pick or something like that. That video is my most viewed video because I think it's really good, and I think because a lot of people want to know why Sam Presti is doing this. And some people think it's just because he wants draft picks. There are reasons for it. We are not trying to trade Shai for more of these draft picks. We have a ton. What we're doing to get draft picks is trading guys that don't fit the timeline or don't fit next to Shai. Al Horford, for example, did not fit the timeline because he is over 30 years old and he's making a ton of money. So what we did was we rehabbed his trade value similar to the way we did with Chris Paul, and we may now do with Kemba Walker, who we traded Al Horford for, with, in addition, another first-round pick. We aren't getting picks because we're going to draft 30 guys. You can't do that. We are getting draft picks to potentially trade up if we, like just happened, if we get screwed by the lottery, or if we want to trade for an unhappy superstar to put next to Shai when the time is ready. So the rebuild doesn't have to take 6-7 years because we have so many assets to make the trades that we want to make happen. I guarantee you, if the Thunder threw out the 6th pick and like 7 draft picks at whatever team has one of those top 5 picks, they would probably accept it, or they would at least strongly consider it. And I don't blame them, because that's a lot of assets to turn down. This is a great draft class, and so a lot of teams, maybe even all of them in the top 5, may be unwilling to trade down. And if that's the case, okay, that's fine. We'll take our guy at 6, and we'll go on, and we'll move on with him. Presti, I trust him to get the best guy available that fits next to Shai, and we'll then use those draft picks instead to focus on getting superstars, or maybe in a potential other draft, trading up. There you go. That's what we're doing with the draft picks. That's a quick, like, summarized version of what we're doing. So why would we trade Shai, who is our current franchise cornerstone, for more draft picks? People have been saying, oh, why don't the Thunder trade Shai for the first overall pick? First of all, I don't know if the Pistons do that, because I think they view Cade Cunningham as their guy going forward, so I don't even know if they'd be willing to do that. And second of all, I'm not doing that. In the draft, you have uncertainties. Cade Cunningham, while I think he's going to be a stud, I think he's going to be a superstar level player in this league, he has a possibility of busting. There is always a shot of being a bust in the NBA draft. Even the most safe of prospects have a possibility. Zion Williamson last year, or in like a couple drafts ago, it was the Zion Williamson draft. People knew Zion was going to be a stud. That's understandable. He had the physical frame, he had the talent, he had looked like the work ethic to be a star. He was a unique, one-of-a-kind prospect. And so he was the first overall pick. But there always was potential for him to bust. Maybe he had some injury issues. He is a big guy. There are injury concerns. What we have right now in Shai is a bona fide guy who has shown in his first few years in the NBA, and especially this past season, he can turn into, theoretically, a superstar level player. That is how much potential Shai has. So why would we deal that for the uncertainty of a draft pick? It doesn't make any sense. And another thing with Shai not wanting to stay around for a rebuild, Shai is going to sign an extension this offseason that is going to pay him $100+ million, near around $200 million. Why would Shai pass that up? That is money that could secure your family for a lifetime. Multiple generations could get off scot-free with that money. It's so much money, and it makes sense that he would sign this extension, and he's going to. So stop putting Shai in trade packages. We're not trading him. It doesn't make sense. And we're getting those draft picks to build around Shai. He's our franchise cornerstone. Stop making me tweet it out on Twitter, because today is like the 3rd time in a row I've had to tweet out we're not trading Shai. He's not going anywhere. Appreciate you watching this video. Let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comment section below. This, by the way, was all spurred from just speculation in a passing comment on Zach Lowe's podcast, and it wasn't even Zach Lowe. It was just like his guest was like, oh, you know, they theoretically could trade Shai. And yeah, in theory, we could, but it doesn't make sense. So stop just taking sound bites and turning them into stories, and we're not trading Shai. He's our franchise guy. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys later. Real One, say it back.